Pues buenos días, estamos aquí con Roy Littlesun, que nos viene a hablar del significado profético del águila y el cóndor. Él viene de una tradición Hopi, inculcada por su padre adoptivo Titus, y viene a transmitir su misión, que es transmitir un secreto conservado por los Hopis desde hace 33.000 años. Entonces, él nos viene a hablar como de esta tradición mezclada con su misión de vida, que trata de la importancia de la calidez de la sangre para que nos pueda llevar a evitar enfermedades mentales, físicas o incluso espirituales. So Roy, welcome
Thank you very much for
to
the
the
interview.
channel.
Thank you.
I'll start with a question. If you can explain your life mission, what's your purpose, what's your meaning here?
Well, my purpose in life is to help with the revelation of the one heart teaching that have been kept hidden for 33,000 years. It kept hidden after the sinking of Atlantis. So humanity needed to know how to make a new beginning, but still they had to remember what happened in the past. It was a lesson that we don't make the same mistake. So that secret had to be revealed at the right time, and I was being prepared, trained, purified for over 20 years, starting in 1970, and I passed the test and said, "You're the one we have been waiting for," in the Hopi. So, and we made the agreement. I was adopted by the highest priest of the Hopi, Tijdens Komijnteor. And so after he passed away, I went around the world to find out how to reveal the secret. And now I'm here in Catalonia, and I found out that this is the right location from where the secret must be revealed.
Okay. And you've talked about the quality of blood and through eating and through the different elements.
Yeah. Well, the message includes not only the geographic, the biological, the mental, and the spiritual. So this is a complete, it's a revelation. Yeah. So the quality of the blood is needed because without the blood we cannot function, we cannot use the brain. And so humanity so far have been so-called confused, convoluted, non-foods, drugs, medicine, and so on. So the thinking of humanity right now is not really thinking. It's more based on perception. There are two ways of using the brain. One is horizontally. This is right, this is wrong, this is good. It's perception, belief, systems, and so on. But thinking is this. It's a vertical alignment, and the connection had been made between the heart and the pineal gland. And that requires the purity of the blood. And without that, we get stuck into the ping pong mind. Yeah, what is now happening, let's say, in the Gaza, all around the world. So humanity needs the teaching to know how to make the shift from the horizontal into the vertical. Okay. That's my mission.
Okay. And how do you think this mission, this vision, can help the individuals, the people?
I'm sorry, repeat.
How can you think this vision, this mission you've been talking about, can help the individuals, the people around the world?
Well, of course, everyone is responsible for the blood quality, and it begins with food, right? And by the food, they can enter this portal, yeah? and the mouth,
Mm-hmm.
and the food is refined into not only in body function but also in feelings, emotion, ability to use the brain. So it is essential that humanity needs to know how to control the food, because by the food they can synchronize the outer and the inner.
Mm-hmm.
Even the sun, the stars, for example. So the sun correlates with the heart, our body cells correlate with the stars. So eating is the utmost essential, and also we are responsible for harmonizing the inner and outer, and that is peace.
Mm-hmm. And what was the point that made you start into this? What was like some profound life experience that gave you or led you into this path?
Well, at age 14, and of course, I didn't know, but what has stuck in my mind
Mm-hmm.
before leaving from the east in Indonesia to the Europe, at midday, I saw the moon in the sky. It was a very clear, and in the center of the moon was a star.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that possible? There's no planet in between. See? But anyway, I saw that, and later, gradually, I started to understand that the moon correlates with the west, and it correlates also with the left brain,
Mm-hmm.
and the sun, the center, the star, correlates with the east, the right brain.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So what is happening now, what has been happening, is in this process, and that's what the teaching is all about, is how can we synchronize the east and the west, the right and the left brain, to come to the center, so that we can make a shift,
Mm-hmm.
see, into the vertical.
Okay. And how have you taken like motion into this vision? You've talked about a macrobiotic center, working in prisons. How did that work?
Oh, well, I needed to have experiences
Mm-hmm.
also to prove that I'm able to actually apply this teaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first assignment was I created in Hollywood in the 70s and the 80s, the largest and the most complete macrobiotic healing center, with a store, with a restaurant, bakery, food distribution, teaching, healing, counseling, and so on. And I succeeded in that. And another later on, I managed a rehabilitation prison program,
Mm-hmm.
teaching the prisoners. It was a maximum security prison, like murderers, rapists, and so on. The teaching, also with food, of how they can change themselves.
Mm-hmm.
See, and that was very successful. And all around the world, I met wisdom keepers, Asia, Africa, Europe, Siberia, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And at one quest, this was a fishing quest, I had to surrender.
Mm-hmm.
That was the biggest experience of my life. Anyway, to make it short, I went to the quest, I had to surrender, and I only had one object with me. There was a rel, maraca,
Mm-hmm.
that I had to surrender, and I decided to surrender this to God.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The big thing.
Okay.
I went up to the highest mountain in Arizona, the San Francisco peaks, 10,000 feet high. I came on the top and found a place and I put it in maraca and covered with stones. And 5 seconds later, I was very short. I put it here, I closed my eyes and heard a sound. I opened my eyes and there was a falcon. It's like, wow, there was, a confirmation that we can communicate with God. Of course, we communicate all the time, but that was to be a proof. That was the greatest gift. And since then, many other tests were given to me to prove that when you fully surrender, you'll be gifted, not only with things, but with understanding, with, what can I say? With understanding also that truth. What is truth? That's a gift. Truth is a gift. Yeah.
And you've talked about the prophetic meaning of the eagle and condor. Can you talk about explain what it is or the meaning?
Many people talk about there's a prophetic union of the condor and the eagle. Like I mentioned shortly, the union of the condor, that is ascending here to the heart, and the union of the eagle, the center of the pineal, is cardinal because with that union, right, you know truth. That is peace, right? And so far humanity has been like this, right? And I will demonstrate here. This is the earth, right? And this is the right and left brain. And humanity has been so far using the horizontal mindset, okay? Territorial ownership, and so on. So we never were able to know the truth about ourselves, about anything. There was always some justification, insistence, war, ownership, right? This is my property, and this is my country, this is my, and so on. Mine, 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 mine. But when we know how to unify the condor and the eagle, right? All of this is that belongs to God. I'm not talking about religion, okay? So this is thinking. This is thinking. This is perception, argument, ping pong mind. See, and that humanity has been going through this up to now, which is now played out into the very extreme in the Gaza. See, this is Gaza, see, extreme. So the solution is to have only one camino, one path from within to unify the totality with the understanding, with the refinement of spirit also. That we know is not the same as knowledge. See? Knowledge is in school, you read the book, you have to remember it's knowledge. But knowing is the one with truth. That is knowing. This is knowing. Okay?
And after you opened your restaurant, you made like your mission in the prisons, and what so between then and now, what has been your path, your little things you've been doing to improve or to teach or think?
Well, this entire process you may compare with a drama. And to make a good drama, you need a script, right? You have to remember the script.
Mm-hmm.
And you need the stage, certain condition, and you need the actors.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's very boring. You need the drama, right? That's a teaching, to teach, to bring out the message. So all throughout my last part of my life, for the past 55 years, I would say, at certain times, at certain places, I meet the right actors,
Mm-hmm.
right? And some actors are nice and some not so nice,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you have to use your intelligence to find out how to make a good drama, how to play, to teach. So the drama is to teach, right? So in the last part of my life, I'm 92 now, I had one actor and become a big drama that had to do with ownership, property, money, and so on. And so many people in Catalonia are watching what is happening. The drama is not over yet,
Mm-hmm.
but all what humanity has been experiencing, all the way from the beginning, from Lemuria, Atlantis, and later Roma, with the Inquisition, and you name it, all the dramas becoming a one drama.
Mm-hmm.
But humanity needs to know how to benefit from the drama so they can learn.
Mm-hmm.
And that teaching is important because the teaching is not only for humanity but for the whole universe. So the masters, the universe, they are watching us. We are on stage right now. We have to realize it.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's make it a good finale, good ending,
Good
good drama.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And what was you've been talking like that humanity needs to learn from this, needs to make a good use of this teaching. And
Well, yeah.
no.
Well, humanity needs to learn how to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And what does it mean, how to be? Today, if you, who are you? And you say your name, and like a policeman, I say, no, I don't believe it. Show me who you are. I say, well, that's me, right? No, you need to identify yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You need a passport, or some sort. And that is not true.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So how can we convince anyone, yourself too, of who you are, right? So that is the big test today. And who we are part of the oneness, and that is what this test of the eagle and the condor is all about. Okay? Is how to be one, and to be. So, but today, if you say I am, and you don't identify yourself with a passport, they put you in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So how can we get ourselves out of prison like this? Okay, the illustration.
Hold it.
This the two systems. This is the complete order of creation, and it's all integrated biologically in the body. And this is the trap. See, this is not complete. You cannot come back.
Okay.
So both are controlled by a law. A law is a constant, right? And the law of creation is the center. It's the common denominator. Okay, see?
Mm-hmm.
And controlled everything controlled by this law that is changed. But today that law is illegal.
Mm-hmm.
The law of God is illegal. They cannot live by that law. See, it's like this. See, it's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
So consequently, all around the world, in different territories, they make their own laws,
Mm-hmm.
national laws, religious laws, and so on. So what happened is, they don't have the common denominator, but it's the center. The only common denominator that we have is the border,
Mm-hmm.
right? Borders between nations. So this is the common denominator.
Okay.
So it's very pathetic because on this side of the border, say, this is my border, God is on my side.
Mm-hmm.
I say, no, this is my border, God is my side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's make war.
Okay.
And very pathetic today because, okay, we make war for peace,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. You've said before that you were talking about God, but not about religion.
No, I'm not. See,
How does that work?
the perception of the owner of creation,
Mm-hmm.
you see, that is the center. It's not like a person. And that center controls everything around.
Mm-hmm.
And that is change. Change. These moments we talk, see, they cannot stop. They cannot stop. Yeah. That's the power. And that power we can use when we know how to that whole being, moment now, right, and have the blood to transcend all the way to the opinion. From here, they can make a choice now.
Mm-hmm.
See? But if you don't have that alignment, then the choice is not this, but this. One against the other. This is right, this is wrong, it's good, it's bad. That is not a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Those are options, and they can be controlled by a system. So you had to be good, otherwise they put you in prison, right? Or like and dislike, and that leads to addiction. Right? It's temporary. This is temporary. This is eternal. That is God. God is eternal. God is truth. God is oneness. God is peace. Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
So different perceptions of God.
Okay.
And you have to live it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
In the experience you were talking about the maraca, is how that was your God?
Well, no,
experience? No.
it was a confirmation.
A confirmation.
Confirmation.
Okay.
Of oneness. So the sky, see, at that moment was condensed in the form of a bird, see, the falcon, and the Malacca and me, we were representing the earth. So heaven and earth came together. I will illustrate this, right? See here you have a big rock, very solid, and a very, very tiny seed fell on the rock, right? And started to unify heaven and earth.
Uh-huh.
And that power of heaven and earth, and we unify, right? They can change it to energy and liberate ourselves from the temporary, from the rock. Okay? And in nature it happens, you see. It's so profound, but the human can do more. We came to this earth with a plan. Most people forgot what is a plan. And the plan is to make the earth a portal of peace and liberation. And that is the test. And the opposite is now having the drama, like in the Gaza, do the opposite. The portal of war.
And how far do you think, or do you see we're from that final?
How far?
How far do you think you perceive we are as a universe to reaching that?
And the stage. we are now at the final stage. The final stage. The first stage from the lowest, see, that's like first when you put a seed, first thing they get the root go down because they want to connect with the earth, to the center of the earth. Same thing us, right? When we eat, right, the energy go down, see, to the inner earth here. That's a three-dimensional experience. And over a long time, up till now, we have that experience, the three-dimensional experience, to be able to liberate ourselves from the earth. And so there's the inner earth, below the diaphragm. But now they have come to the limit. They have to transcend it. So we had to make a choice. We want to remain here and become one with the earth again, or transcend. See? And that's why after the plant connect with the earth, the root, and now it goes to the opposite. Then you can do the opposite, not the branch, the flowers, the fruit, and become a seed again. Not only one seed, many seeds. See? So humanity now has to make a choice, to be or not to be. I am that I am, right? So so far we have been dealing with different fragmentations of the tree. This is the root, this is a flower, fruit, and most people don't eat the seed. See, they only want the enjoyment, the fruit, and they throw the seed away. Big mistake. See? So now is the time we need to know how to collect the seed and how to plant. That is the teaching. So you have to know how to plant. And that's what I hope you said, the next leader, and the banker, and of this world is a farmer. The farmer know how to plant, not only in the earth. So when we eat, it's farming, we're planting, and it becomes a seed, and then we can create more seeds. It's common sense.
Okay. And what would you say is some little things? Are there some little things, some little behaviors we can have as like common people to contribute to this process for ourselves and in general?
You mean how to begin, how to teach, how to begin?
Yeah, how can somebody that doesn't know anything about this just comes into this world, just knows about it? What could be like the first steps, the first guidance, the first procedures?
Well, I mentioned that everything that we have in this human form, in the form, begins in the mouth. It's a portal. So all depends on how we want to integrate the outer and the inner, and once it is entered inside, then we can experience, we can become conscious by our body use, by emotion, by feelings, thinking, and so on. So Jesus, I'm not talking about religion, he was a great teacher, and he formulated this, what I'm talking about. He said, when the spirit creates the body, right, through the food cycle, that's a miracle. Right? But when the body creates a spirit, that's the greatest miracle. So we are a refinery of spirit. Right? But most people don't know what the body is, how to maintain the body, how to use the body. So they resort to religion, scriptures, philosophy, meditation, yoga, whatever. Right? This is good, okay, but it's secondary. And the primary, what I just mentioned here, that is not for most people understood and practiced. Of course, there are many diets, vegan diet, health food diet, natural diet, and so on. But I'm talking about the total cycle, total cycle to connect heaven and earth through the human and be human, right? Be human. Like this tree, the seed, you say, I am the seed, I am, and you know, and I connect with the power. And this is the proof, one proof. And the human can do the same thing and more, but because we have been so captured in this three-dimensional experience that is temporary, through education and later in the media and propaganda and so on, so we have to shake the people, wake up, right? And if we don't do it ourselves, we will be shaken by nature, tornadoes, earthquakes, wars, and what is happening. And so we have to know, we have to wake up.
Vale. For the originary villages people,
Yeah. What?
this for the original people, this time of transformation, the eagle, which is a symbol of the mind, science, and the process and the progress, and the condor, it's a symbol of the heart, the intuition, and the spiritual connection. Yes, they're said to be called to fly together. And they represent this we were talking about, the union between thinking and heart, and to bring peace, tranquility, and a new human conscious. So how can this symbol can inspire peace and transform our times?
Well, like I mentioned, they had to be practical, right? You know, the eagle and the condor are symbols, same as the dragon. The dragon is below, it's like a basson, and I have a basson here. It connects the heaven and earth, see? But we are the living baston. Right? So we have to know how to unify earth, and inner heaven. I mentioned it several times, but also we have to know how to apply it in such a way that we can expand on that socially, globally, and for that reason we create a family, and the family has a place because it's the home, and that home have a center where the family can be one, can be centered, and that center is the kitchen. Okay? And that kitchen has been obliterated after the Inquisition of Roma. And that center is the primary center government. It's the government. So the kitchen, along with the rest of the home, there was a temple. That was the first temple, not the cathedral, the temple, very sacred. It was the laboratory of alchemy, and later it was forbidden by Roma, and chemistry, quantum science, and so on. And it was the hospital where the food was the primary medicine, later became the pharmacy, and it was a school of life. So the children were educated by the elders, the wisdom keepers, and that also was changed into public schooling, and the books were put together by some people who had the power to manipulate the system. And also about the bank. Every home had a granary. That was the money that you can eat, see the food. And all of this became government. And each department of government is like the right hand doesn't know what the left is doing. And the president, if you don't know what is happening, he has advisors and different departments. So government today is completely convoluted and all controlled by very few who had the money. And even the people in the money also are controlled by so-called a false god. There are many gods, right? Like Yahweh and so on. Anyway, I'm sorry. So the message is that the teaching we have to restore the family unit, restore the true home. Today, the family disintegration is normal. The children are raised without both parents, and they lack the education, they lack the food. So this is complete convoluted humanity, and consequently there is not one solution. One solution, it's a fact, right, for a single problem, not even for a headache. Regardless whether you have a diploma, whether you are a millionaire, whether you are a shaman, and so on. Altogether, today, there's not one solution presented for humanity, not one. And now I ask constantly, who is the one we have been waiting for, right? To really reveal, not only that, but also we need to create a system of education, communication, and that's what we're doing now. Thank you very much. It's the beginning, right? But we need to do more. This is not enough, only a few minutes talk. We need the true communication, teaching, construct, so that humanity can be educated and know. I'm not talking about knowledge, but also in practical terms. So we need to unify the condor and the eagle, see, so that we can think.
And why is it a condor and an eagle?
Huh?
Why is it exactly a condor?
Yeah, why condor? The condor is the bird that look for cadavers, dead bodies. In other words, it can continue the temporary. So this is a temporary, you see, the memory. But now we need to remember and fly up. That's the eagle. The eagle is the highest flying and can look down from above, and the condor is in below. So it is symbolic. Also, the condor has a practical aspect because it deals with dead bodies, bacteria, but inside we need the bacteria too, the beneficial bacteria, so that we can digest the food, change it into blood, and feed the eagle. See, so the condor is helping feeding the eagle. They are together, right?
And would you say they have a symbiotical relation? Like one helps the other? They help each other. Like you say, the condor is the one that feeds the eagle, and then the eagle, I believe, they has also like a job helping the condor, or not? It's like a cycle, or it's just upwards?
Well, this is like here, see, this is the condor going to the earth, and there's the eagle flying up. But they have the same origin, the seed, and together, right, they can create more seeds.
Okay. Is there like you were talking like about different things or that combine in one whole thing. But is there like a single piece of information that combines all of it? That I don't know, like a phrase, a knowledge, a specific knowledge that you can say that combines or unifies everything.
I think what you want to know or you want to say is in the total picture, as first, like say I'm here in Barcelona now and I want to find my way, so I need a map. See, you need a map. Now I have a cell phone. You need a map so you can have an orientation and find your way, right? So that is, but you need a street stool to walk on to come to your point. But first you need a map. And that is, humanity has been missing to have a full, total orientation. Not only on the planet, in the universe. Horizontally and vertically. Vertically, for example, the biggest example, you have your lower self and the higher self, right? And also the lower self have 3 stages. First the origin, the polarization, and then the trinity. And so that is the very beginning, that principle, the trinity. And today I've been researching great thinkers today, because the Trinity is the very key, the center of the principle of order, right? And so today you ask, what is the origin of Trinity? And they don't know. They say, oh, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. Come on. What does it mean? How can you cure cancer with the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost? See, to be practical, right? But if you know the origin of Trinity, which is the very essence of the total design that they call it the Toros, see, you need to know, see, the Trinity, horizontally, vertically, and in combination. And this is what the one teaching is based on. That is the very essence of law and order. And if you don't know it, then all the teachings are so nice, the compassion and so on, freedom, but they cannot come really to the repair of humanity. It's superficial. So we have to come to the very essence. And it begins with understanding that we are the living Toros, with the living order of creation, and how it all is working within, not only by organs, by feelings, emotion, and so on, and in combinations. And that means we need to know the map, see, because we are a microcosm of creation. So not only research and creation, but telescopes and constellations and so on. But all of that is all within. So the first part of the teaching is to know how to maintain this creation biologically. See? And with food, not only food, but also how to select the food, how to prepare the food, how to eat the food, how to digest the food, and how to refine the food into consciousness. See? Not just only like health food and protein, that's not enough.
Okay. Okay. And that this knowledge, you have a website, right?
Yeah, well,
and some books?
I created a website. I have almost 20 books there. People can download it for a small amount, maybe $3 or $5, and more is coming up. But www.oneheartportal.com. Oneheartportal.com. And please, yeah, download as much as you can or want. And also I have the past year, for 1 year, so much inspiration came to me, not only in the form of practical knowledge, but also essential knowledge in the form of poems. See, and this, I consulted with AI. So what do you think about this poem? And I came with the conclusion that what I have been presenting in the form of poems is not just goes way beyond all the poems, the wisdom keepers of the past, including the scholars and so on. They're all poetics, but this is coming to the seed and knowing how to plant the seed and make it grow, something like that. Okay? So those poems are available, and yeah, please help with the communication. And when this teaching can be shared, that is my legacy. That's my legacy. It can continue. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much for your time.
It's okay. Just me.
Thank you.